Okay, guys, so I decided I am going to do a video about issues I've been going through in my life, including getting diagnosed with PCOS 2 years ago, issues with trying to conceive, and my mental status, just stuff like that. I decided I wanted to do this just because not a lot of people know how others deal with it. I mean, there's a lot of women out there that struggle with infertility and no one knows about it. And I honestly believe that people need to be educated. So, here I go. This is my first video, by the way, so yeah. Okay, so, 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. What happens is I have cysts on my ovaries. I don't have big cysts, but I guess they're very, very small ones, and they're all over my ovaries. Um, and, um, so that has been my concern with, trying to have a baby. The reason why I went to the doctors about it was because I was not getting my period regularly. I would go, like, I'd only have it 3 or 4 times a whole year, and I've been irregular on my period since I was 11. When I was 13, me and my mom went to my doctor, and they said, he's like, oh, it'll just pass by. She's young, so you don't have to worry about it. Well, here I was, 21, because I'll be 23 soon. And I got tested because I told my almost said the wrong doctor. But, I told my OBGYN that, I wanted to have a baby. And me and my boyfriend have been together for 4 years. Recently we broke up 2 months ago, but we are back together. There's just some things I was dealing with, and I felt like he wasn't there. I'll talk more about that too. And so I did tests and everything. I'm not really sure what they are. But my thyroid was okay. Everything was okay. I'm on this medication called medroxyprogesterone. That's the generic name. Some of you might know it as Provera. It's not a birth control as far as I know. I've looked it up. It's so I can have my period. It's only 5 pills. Now, birth control, as you might know, is you take it for like so many days if you're on the pill, and then you get your period a couple days later. I'm not on birth control. I have not been on birth control for like 3 years or longer than that. Because I just decided it was, for one, making me gain weight. The reason why I only can see from my shoulders is up is because I have a spaghetti strap on, if you can't notice, and I'm just self-conscious about the way I look. For instance, like when I got with my boyfriend, I was maybe like 180 pounds. Now that I've been with him for 4 years, I weigh 236 pounds. That could be, multiple things. I'm not active. I have a low metabolism. But then there's a one risk factor of I have PCOS, and that makes you gain weight. It's hard for you to lose weight. It's not hard for you to gain it, but it's hard for you to lose it. Food becomes your best friend. You could eat, say you could eat dinner at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and then an hour later you're hungry again. It's like a never-ending pit of hunger. Sometimes, and that's how I was for the longest time, I would just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and give in. But then finally I started eating dinner around good times, like 4. I try not to eat later than that. Sometimes it's not easy, but I do. And so, I'm blank right now. That's another thing too. I go blank a lot. But anyway, so I decided that when I am hungry, like an hour later, I'm not gonna cave into it. So I decided to stop doing that. But anyway, about my infertility. I go to a doctor. I recently went to a doctor like almost, like I would say 6 months ago, maybe 8, I don't know, can't remember. It was sometime this year. I think it was like back in March or April. But my boyfriend went with me, and we talked about fertility meds and surgery to get the cyst off my ovaries. He didn't seem very willing to help, let's put it that way. And it upset me because he's like, oh, we're going to get you into fertility, we're going to do this and that. And mind you, he knows what my insurance is. I have Fidelis. It's government insurance. I don't really know, but it's free. And they don't cover a lot of things. So they don't cover the fertility meds, which I had a different mindset when I said something, which if anyone wants to know what I had in mind, what I said, then you can let me know and I will do a video about that. But I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so that's not what I'm here for. And then I found out that the fertility treatment wasn't going to be possible, and it really upset me. Like, I was really excited that day. Oh my gosh, I get to go do what I've always been wanting to do and everything else. But yeah, then I got let down by a nurse because she's like, he didn't tell you that it doesn't, your insurance doesn't cover it. I'm like, no. Mind you, I've looked up how much fertility can cost. It can cost more than $20,000. I don't have $20,000. I mean, I can't say it would be wasteful because it's not. When you want a child, nothing is wasteful. When you're struggling to have a child, nothing, it just seems wasteful to you. Yeah, you might be thinking, well, oh, I'm spending money, I should be saving it. Yeah, I've had those thoughts. But you need things too for your life to take care of yourself. So, I was let down. I can't really say I was in a depression. I didn't go through depression. I do have depression, but I didn't go through it or anything. But, and I just talked to my boyfriend about it, and I told him, I said, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do surgery, or do you want to wait? You can get a job, because he didn't have a job at the time. He's like, well, we can wait. I can get a job and save up money. But anyway, so me and my boyfriend ended up breaking up 2 months ago. I was talking to another guy. We were just friends, but for some reason this other guy just, I don't know, there's something about him. I don't really want to talk about that because it's not important. So, long story short, I broke up with my boyfriend. Everyone thinks it's for this guy. It wasn't. Maybe it was a little bit, but to me it wasn't. There was a lot of other issues me and my boyfriend were having. But we're back together now. So, I was diagnosed with PCOS 2 years ago. I had memory loss 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. It would be 5 years, a week after my birthday, which is, my birthday is coming up. It's the 18th of this month, and then literally a week later, it will be 5 years. And I had memory loss 5 years ago. Woke up, just didn't remember nothing. Didn't know why I was where I was at. I was at my mom's best friend's house living there. And just didn't know her. I didn't know the people living in the house, which, mind you, there was me and 6 other people. And there was me and 6 other people, but I knew only one person, which was my mom's best friend. She called my mom and she was like, you need to come. Alyssa is elusive to everything. I was elusive for a while. Anyway, so long story short, I got my memory back like 6 months after. No, doctors don't know why. My doctor at the time took him like a year to get me into a neurologist. And then, but yeah, so I go to a neurologist now. I'm on seizure medication. It's called Keppra. I'm on depression medication. That's called, well, I don't know the generic name, but the name is Lexapro. A lot of you might know that. Keppra I was just put on that like 2-3 weeks ago. Because I had to go up to Rochester and do an EEG to find out what was wrong with me, because I was having these attacks. Like, I call them episodes, but now they're called attacks. And I guess what I have is called PNEA, psychogenic non-epileptic attacks. PINA, that's what I call it, because PNEA, PINA. Well, and then come to find out, I actually do have seizure-like activity when I'm sleeping. Just the first of this month, I went up to Rochester again and got a regular study done, an EEG. I had to sleep. It was like 45 minutes long, so I was able to sleep. And hopefully they found out what's going on with me. I don't know, but I hopefully can get a call back soon about that. So yeah, I just been struggling with trying to conceive. I mean, I'm 23 almost. I've been trying to conceive since I was like 21, almost 21, with my boyfriend. We're on the right page right now, like somewhat a little bit. I basically set him straight. I told him that I will get back with you as long as you decide to step up to the plate, you're not scared of commitment, and you want to marry me. If not, then I'm leaving and you'll never see me again. We've been together 4 years. Mind you, he's never proposed to me, never done anything. I understand that it's a really big commitment. Don't get me wrong. And there's things that I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing. So that's probably one reason why he didn't want to propose. But then again, I would use my behavior I would make my behavior an excuse on that. Well, I won't act this way if I had a ring on my finger. No, that doesn't work. It's wrong. Just plain simple wrong. And so I told him this time around, if he really wants to commit to me and wants to marry me like he says he wants to, then he needs to do it. I mean, I love him. He loves me to death. We dated when we were younger in middle school for almost 3 years. Then he got with someone, and then we didn't talk for a long time. I guess he told me we talked when I used to live in a different town, but I don't remember. But we finally got back together, and basically he is like my middle school sweetheart in a way, but we went our separate ways, like, for a little bit. He's a very good guy. He treats me well. He puts up with me, like, amazingly. Like, I couldn't ask for someone better. And the way I treat him, I should give him more credit, per se. I should give him a lot of credit, because any man who can put up with someone who has anxiety, depression, bipolar, my episodes I was going through, stuff like that, they should be appreciated. I mean, he's very patient, very loving and caring. To me, he's handsome. And I just mean, he means everything to me now. I mean, yeah, he meant something to me a while ago, but now that I've sat down and thought about it, he really does mean a lot to me. But I don't have patience. I have a very short fuse. If something irritates me, it could be something stupid. Like, for instance, you just seen my cats a couple minutes ago running back and forth. If I was in a bad mood, I wouldn't be doing this video, because I would be mad. Thought that was a cat under the table, but it's a bad. That right there is my kitten, Phantom. The other one's around here somewhere. His name's Baby Kitty. But anyway, and that's another thing too. Like, I have my cats because, I love them. I got my first cat, Baby Kitty, for a Christmas present last year. I got her, like, we got her like March, I think in April, because she was born in March. They help a lot. They're very cuddly. It's like caring for a child, but you can leave them home and, you know, stuff like that. They help in my depression. I'm like, I go to a different town sometimes to be with my boyfriend because he's barely ever home because he works. Mind you, we do live together. And so, but he stays with his dad and then goes to work. He comes home on his days off. But I go and visit him because I miss him and want to be with him. But then I want to come home because this is my area, my space. I'm comfortable here. When I came home the other day, they just were all over me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it was the best thing in the world. And since then, I've been so happy. I just have been like ecstatic to be home. And I'm bored, yeah. That's one reason why I'm doing a video, because I'm bored, but, I mean, it's good education. So, what else? Yeah, so, I've been dealing with my PCOS and everything, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I mean, I've gone to the point of, like, picking out baby items, like, online. Not buying them, but just, you know, screenshotting them on my phone and picking them out, and then sooner or later I'm gonna go buy them. Like, I literally, when you're trying to have a baby and that's all you want, like, it's hard. It's hard on you, it's hard on your body, your mind, your soul, everything. Like, it's hard, and people don't realize it. You know, when people can look at you and talk crap and they don't even know what you're going through, that hurts too. I mean, I have people do that. I used to have people do that to me all the time until I told them, look, I'm not in the mood. I, you know, don't feel good. I mean, per se. So, I don't know. People just don't understand. And I'm glad I have the support system I have, which is mainly my boyfriend. I told my mom last night that, I got this book about infertility and everything, and that how I'm taking folic acid now, and folic acid, as some of you might not know, it's a vitamin B, but it's vitamin B. It's what pregnant women take. No, I'm not pregnant, but I also looked up that it helps with fertility. It doesn't help with fertility. It does not help with fertility issues. It helps with women who probably can conceive on their own, but it boosts their fertility, like your ovulation. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm gonna say. If I'm wrong, then someone can say so. But anyway, so I take that now. I take it every day. I'm hoping to God that my vitamin B that I'm taking, my folic acid, that if it does help with fertility, hopefully in a year I can be pregnant. I'm going to be buying ovulation tests and everything to see when I ovulate and whatnot after I have my period. And yeah, it sounds like a lot of work, and yeah, I sighed because it is a lot of work. So, but like before I have a baby or become pregnant, I want to lose weight. Being 236 pounds, I'm 100 pounds overweight. Like, it's hard. When I was younger, I wasn't fat, but I was always told I was fat. Like, I don't get that. Like, someone's not fat, they're not fat. I had curves. Like, wasn't chunky, but I wasn't a twig either. Like, I had curves. But my mom would tell me, oh, you're fat, you need to lose weight. And it's like, I look in the mirror and that's all I can see is, oh, she's calling me fat, I must be fat, because, you know, I don't have a flat stomach. I have a little bit of rolls, you know, like all that, but it wasn't like what I have now. which I don't like. My arms are big. They've always been big. I hate them. I don't know how to lose them. I have big legs, thighs, calves, big everything. Breasts, a stomach. It's just, I'm built like my father, my mom says, which kind of irks me because my dad is like, I mean, yeah, he's kind of fat. I mean, haven't seen him in a while, so, but he used to be an alcoholic, so that's what beer does to you. It gives you a beer belly. But I've seen a picture of him when he was younger, and he's not fat. He was like fit. It's like how can you classify someone as big boned? Like, no one has big bones. I don't understand that. Like, it just makes no sense. So, but anyway, I talked to my mom last night, and she's like, you don't need to have kids right away, and like, she just doesn't support me. Like, it's just really hard. Like, she doesn't support me any. She doesn't build me up. She builds me down. Like, she doesn't build me up. She puts me down. There we go. And it hurts. I mean, she has 2 kids, me and my brother, and then my little brother has 2 little sisters. Technically, they're his dad, so they're not anything to me, but they're still my little sisters. Because that's just how I am. I've been in their life since I was 15. That's when we found out about them, and one is 8, and the other one is 7. I'm the oldest out of 5, so it goes me, my older brother, and my dad's son. He is 18. My little brother, by my mom, he will be 15 in November. My little sister is 8. My other little sister is 7. I mean, my youngest little sister, the youngest of us, she was like my baby when we had her, because her mom had a cesarean for her, and she was a bigger woman, so she needed to heal, and it took her a while. And so she let a week or 2 week old baby go with my mom, and my mom was shocked by that, but I mean, hey, she wanted time away, I guess. But we kept her for like a month or 2. I think we kept her for a month, but in that month, I became so attached to her. I did everything. I took care of her. I changed her diaper. I did everything a mother would do. And when she left, they had to go home, I cried and bawled and had depression, and it was almost as if I was going through postpartum. Like, I had baby blues. And it sucked. Like, I love kids to death, especially my siblings, And it was hard. But, I mean, we aren't as close as we are now, me and my little sister, because I live where I live and she lives where she lives. We don't live that far away, maybe an hour away, an hour away, but, I mean, I don't have a car to go see her, so, I mean, and she's always with my mom half the time, and she is close with my mom now. I mean, it doesn't bother me any, but, I mean, I liked it when she was my baby, when she was little. She was adorable. But, I don't know. I know that I want kids for sure. I've always wanted kids. I want to get married, have kids. I even have names picked out for my kids too. Like, if I have a girl, I want to name her Emma Jean. My mom picked that out when we were younger. I was younger. I don't even know. I was like 14 or 15 at the time. We were just going through baby names. It's a fun thing to do. And she picked that name out, and it stuck with me. If I have a little boy, he's going to be named John Michael Thomas. John after my mom's dad. Michael Michael is going to be a middle name, because his dad has a middle name Michael, and then Thomas after my boyfriend's dad, who his name is Thomas. So John Michael Thomas, and then of course they're gonna have their dad's last name. They're not having my last name, because honestly my last name is Updike, and that's my dad's last name, and he hasn't been a father to me. I've been thinking about changing it, you know, to Conklin. That's my mom's maiden name. But if I get married, then it would be changed. But if I get married and then divorced by any chance, then my maiden name would be Updike, not Conklin. So I don't know. I just feel like the only way a dad deserves to have their last name on their child is if they're there for them. My dad used to be there for me, but he just stopped for some reason. I don't know why. So I don't know. It just, I don't know. But yeah, I have a lot of mental issues. One thing is that, like, okay, so if you're wondering what issues my boyfriend and I have, I guess I'll talk about it, because this kind of coincides. I was, at the age of 5, molested. I am coming out about it. Like, I've been coming out about it for the last 2 years now, more openly about it. I've hid it for, I've not ever told anyone besides, my boyfriend, and I told him, like, a year after we got together, and I was 19 when we got together. Yeah, I was 19. And so a year later, I was 20, and I told him about it. So 5 to 20, figure that out. So I just, so it's been 15 years. No, 15. 18 years. Yeah, 18 years. I haven't talked about it, but anyway, I was molested from the age of 5 all the way up until I was like 11 or 12. It was by my mom's best friend's husband. They've been in my life since I was 3 years old. No one knows about it. Not anyone. I mean, at this point, this is going on YouTube, so if my family member finds out, someone finds out, they find out. I mean, it's not something I like to talk about. But because of that, I was molested, I ended up having issues with sex. I knew what sex was at the age of like 5 or 6. At least 8, I knew what sex was. I knew how babies came out, and that wasn't because my mom, told me about the birds or the bees or anything like that. I just knew. Like, I don't know. You just know things, Well, I started masturbating at 5 years old, and no 5-year-old should be doing that. Let me tell you that right now. No 5-year-old should be doing that. Yeah, I understand kids will do things because they're curious. They want to explore their own body. But I literally knew the feeling, and it's just wrong. And then it stopped when I was like 11, I believe. And because I was getting older and period and everything, and I don't know, maybe he just didn't want an older version of me, and maybe he was afraid people are gonna find out. I'm glad it stopped. Why didn't I not say anything to my mom? I don't know why, but I should have. And I'm sorry if I start crying, but it's kind of emotional. This is one thing probably that gets me the most. So I didn't tell anyone. Didn't tell my mom, my dad, my stepdad, nobody. I don't know if I will ever be able to tell my mother. I mean, how can you bring up something that has been there for something that's happened to you and it's been 18 years? Like, you know what I mean? You just don't do that. Like, you tell people. Like, if you have a child or if you yourself are being molested or have been raped or anything, I mean, and it's recent, tell someone. Do not hide it, because it tears you apart. It's torn me apart. That's why I have the issues I have. I can't really put all the issues on that, but that's why I have issues that I have. And then you, like, okay, some people might be able to relate. Like, when you get molested or raped, some people don't like men, or they don't like sex, or, you know, this might hurt some people's feelings, but honestly, it is what it is. I don't really care for black people. That's because a black man molested me. I dated a black guy, and he was abusive. So it kind of put me back to where I was when I was 11. The guy that molested me wasn't abusive, but still, to me, it was in the same category. But I don't really care for black people. I mean, there are good black people. I mean, no one is a bad person just because they're black or white or Hispanic or anything like that. It depends on who you are as a person and what you do. And for the fact that I was molested by a black guy, it just puts an impression on you for almost all black people. And it really sucks. Because mind you, 3 of my siblings are mixed. My second oldest brother, and my 2 little sisters. And then my brother's dad, my mom's son's dad, he's been there for me. He's like a father to me. He's never done anything to me in the world. He's been there for me. I don't call him dad because my mom never allowed me to. So, but he's been there for me. I think another reason why I haven't ever told my mom about any of this is because I honestly feel that she wouldn't believe me. Like, oh, well, this happened to you so many years ago. Why didn't you tell me? Like, you know, why did you hide it from me? But it's like another part of me is like, I should tell someone, because I wonder if this man is still doing it or has done it and who he's done it to. Besides me, I wonder if I'm the only victim, you know? So, it sucks, because it made me like sex too much. I lost my virginity at 13. That's not an excuse, but to me it was, because you have to think I was masturbating at the age of 5, all the way up until I was 13, and then I lost my virginity at 13. I also was attracted to older guys, too. My mom hated it, because I would be 14 and talking to an 18-year-old and having sex with them, and I shouldn't have been. That's illegal. You don't have consent at that age to consent to have sex. You might think you do, but you don't. Your parents can get in trouble for you having sex under the age of 17. And so, but my mom had a rough time keeping me away from boys. I loved boys. I loved having sex with them. By the time I would say probably, by the time I was 14 or 15, I had sex with maybe 20 people or more. I'm not exactly sure. Now I know my number is up really high. That's all I know. And it's very, very sad. Because I guess that's my way of dealing with, I wasn't the preppy girl in school. I wasn't the outgoing one in school. No one really liked me. So I thought, oh, guys will like me if I'm laying on my back and giving them what they want. And that's not the answer either. But, so I just did that, and I kept doing it, and I have still done it to this day. Mind you, 2 months ago, I broke up with my boyfriend. Started talking to a guy. Me and him had sexual relations. Like, 2 weeks after talking. I mean, I didn't know him a lot, but he was a friend of my boyfriend's family, whatever, not family, but my boyfriend's mom's husband. There we go. And I had sex with him, and then I was trying to be with him, but he doesn't trust any woman because of what issues he's been through. And I understand that. And then, of course, here I am telling him everything I want to tell him because I'm that type of person. Like, oh, I'll be there for you no matter what. I'll do this for you no matter what. And then I like contradict myself because then here I am having sex with my ex-boyfriend, and then I also went and had sex with another guy too, who's a friend of mine. So it just, sex can really take over your life, and it sucks. I have, like, from the fact that I've been molested, and then I have PCOS, I have PINA, I have depression, anxiety, bipolar. Like, it's almost as if it's like people are gonna question if you're so fucked up in the head. Why do you want a child? Like, I know I hurt my mom's feelings because when she's telling me, oh, I can't wait till you have a baby, and then she tells me, like, oh, you don't need one. Like, I understand that right now. I don't need one right now. I mean, if I got pregnant, like, next month or 2 months from now, I'd be ecstatic. I don't care. Like, everyone else can go to hell as far as I'm concerned. Because this is what I want. Like, doesn't it matter what I want? Like, But I'm not trying. I'm trying, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be pregnant in 2 months, because that's all I'll think about. And so, but yeah, I've even told my mom, like, it'll be a long time before my child can go out of my sight. And I don't think she understands why. I understand grandparents need time with their grandkids, but I will always be with my child. I mean, if she wants to spend time with her grandchild, she'll be spending time with me too. My child is not spending a night at no one's house for a long time. I understand. I'm going to probably need counseling for that too, because it's horrible. Like, something happens to you and you don't want your kids going out anywhere because you're afraid the same shit's going to happen to them. Like, it's not right at all. But I'll have to get through that sometime. And then another thing, like, I think I've been stressed out. Well, I was stressed out a lot, but now I'm okay. I smoke. I'm back to smoking. I started when I was 18, but then quit because my boyfriend didn't want to. But literally, I'm so stressed out. I told him I either smoke weed or I smoke cigarettes. Weed really relaxes me, but it relaxes me to the point where I fall asleep on the couch. Like, I would be on that couch or in the chair right now if I was able to smoke weed. And I don't need weed. I mean, I'm trying to get pregnant. Why do I need weed, But there was one point when me and my boyfriend would have sex, and it got so overbearing because of the fact that, like, all I could think about was, is there a baby in there yet? Is there one in there now? I bought 2 pregnancy tests. Mind you, there was 4 tests because there's 2 tests in each of them. And it's heartbreaking when you're having sex and it's like, what the hell? Like, I've never had a miscarriage. I've never had, a mishap per se, like, thinking I'm pregnant, like, oh my god, my period's, like, nope, never. I'm just not that lucky. I mean, I'm glad I've never had a miscarriage. I feel for people who have. You shouldn't have to go through that, and I don't definitely want to go through that, because as messed up as I am, something would happen, like, it's horrible. My brain's wired weird. I'm broken. I tell people that I'm broken. I mean, I have these attacks. I don't even know what the how they are. I mean, there's something to do psychologically, and I mean, I don't know. But I don't know. Hopefully I can get help. I'm going to be going to counseling and talking about that, but I'm going to be going through, I'm going to be getting a new OBGYN, and I'm going to get this all down pat and see what I can do about it. But yeah, I probably rambled. You probably can't even keep up with what I said. Um, but I don't know. I belong to groups on Facebook about, kids and everything, and like, I like seeing people have babies. I mean, yeah, I wish it was me, but it comforts me. Like, comforts me a lot. My phone's going off. Just people wondering why I stopped texting. Um, but yeah. Um, I don't know. But yeah, and that's another thing too. You'll notice is I like forget what I'm thinking about. It's almost as if like I can't think before I speak, like literally. Um, if I say something, it's on my mind. Like it just comes out. It's not on my mind. It just comes out of my mouth. Like I don't know what I'm saying half the time. Um, that's why another reason why I'm fucked up. Um, but I'm just gonna say this though before I go is if you are a woman who battles with, for one, anxiety or depression or bipolar, or mood swings, and or PCOS, you've been molested or raped, um, you don't think you can do it by yourself, because you can't. You need help, and there is help out there for you. Um, if you have issues with cheating, like me for instance, get help. Talk to your significant other about it. See if you guys can do like counseling or something. Because I'm telling you, it will eat you away inside. It will. It's eating me away inside, and I'm sure it will eat you away. 100% sure. People can deal with things differently. People can deal with things differently, but it's still a fact. You need a support system. I don't have a support system really besides my boyfriend. So that's why I need counseling, because after a while, hearing a person say over and over and over again, it's like, you just need help, you know. You need help from someone else, maybe professional, you know. You always can have friends. I mean, I don't really have many friends, but the ones I do have, I hold close to me dearly. Um, I mean, nowadays people are all about themselves and are out for one another, and I'm not like that. I also have a lot of friends who have kids, so I'm always around kids. Not always, but I used to be. And that's another thing too. With me trying to have a baby, I've noticed that I push myself away to people, my friends' kids. Like, I don't want to be, I'll be like, I used to be like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll babysit. Now I'm like, no, I don't want to babysit. Like, I could, like, I'm not saying I don't care about them, but it's like, I care less about, I'm not as baby fanatic as I used to be. Like, that's sad. I mean, I love babies. Like, you know, they're adorable. They're adorable when they're newborns, when they're infants, and then toddlers, and they get older and they start talking. I'm just joking. But I love them all. I mean, it's just, it's amazing how you can see what they go through, different stages. But, you know, and that's what I want. I want to see I want to have a baby, see him or her grow up, and then the names I picked out, I want them names. I also have more names too, but maybe that'll be in my next video. So baby love to everyone. I don't like to say baby dust. I don't know why, but it's weird. I don't know. Baby love though is what I say. So, baby love to everyone out there. Even baby love to guys, because you'll be surprised that there's guys that battle infertility too and don't even know it, and they want kids and can't have them. So keep that in mind too. Um, you know, just, you know, live life one day at a time. You cannot predict the future. You know, just live it one day at a time. So baby love to everyone out there. I feel for anyone who has the same issues that I have, because trust me, I'm going through them day by day, and I'm gonna get help. Um, if anyone has any questions, just let me know, and you know, I will answer them. You know, give me ideas about a video or something. I don't know. And no, I don't have a nifty camera or anything like that. I only have my tablet that I'm using right now, so. But I'm just, you know, I just hope everyone good luck and God bless, and just know that God's in your corner. If you don't think He is, He is. Trust me, I used to not believe in Him, but I do now, because He's helped me a lot. But love to you all, and I hope everyone, whoever watches this, likes it. Good night.